Bad News Brand. Now, if you're new to my channel, I speak on a variety of topics. So this video is going to be a Black Panther story. And I'll be answering the question, what really happened on the day that the Black Panther Party allegedly packed out Ike and Tina Turner? So here we go. Now, before I continue, I got to put this disclaimer out, y'all. The Black Panther Party was not a racist organization. It wasn't the opposite of the Ku Klux Klan or any skinhead group. It wasn't a black supremacist group of any sort. The party stood for a lot more and was a lot more bigger, truth be told. So let me continue. Now, in order to tell this story, of course, we would have to go back into the 70s, I would say the early to mid 70s. And around this time, the Black Panther Party was an international movement. The party at this point was known everywhere. They were the talk of the town. I mean, from celebrities, all media avenues, from TV shows, magazines, various publications was on the party. Everybody knew who the party was. And so being a party internationally known, a big movement, of course, at this point, the city of Oakland, they were the only game in town. Now, the party owned dozens of properties throughout the city of Oakland, commercial and residential. It was known that they gave a lot of events, held a lot of fundraisers, a lot of concerts, of course, with all the programs they had. And I'm just talking about in Oakland. I'm not even talking about nationwide or worldwide. But the party had a lot going on. It was the biggest movement we ever had to date, and they put their money where their mouth was. So up even to this point, to whereas even other famous celebrities were spending time with the party, were working with the party. And I mean from musicians to actors, actresses, other VIPs, even certain notable people in, I don't want to say in Congress, but in politics, just all over. And it was so much common that it was a term that they gave certain celebrities or famous people who hung out or are built with the Panthers, and it was called radical chic. Now, were these celebrities members? Of course not. But they perhaps maybe donated, helped promote various programs, and just pretty much get the word out about what the party truly stood for and what was the goals were. I mean, it was that big. The party was really making that much noise out here. So that was the theme. So now this was the setting in these times. So now in the city of Oakland, one of the main places that not only the party but a lot of concerts was taking place at in Oakland at that time was at the Henry J. Kaiser Center in downtown Oakland. This is where the story takes place. So now legend has it, right before the show, an agreement was already made between the party and Ike Turner that you'll be paid a specified amount, half before the show and half after the show. And let's just say, for the sake of numbers, 10,000. So you get 5 bands before, 5 bands after. So come the date of the show, the concert / fundraiser, and keep in mind, Ike and Tina at this point, you know, they big, a pretty big group at this point. Everybody know Ike and Tina, of course. That's like having Mary J. Blige and somebody up there. So they had a big name, big huge name. So they was the headliners at the event. So the date of the event, so the event already started, and now comes to the point to where it's time for the headliner. And Ike and Tina, I guess they was late already. And then when they get there, they in the dressing room, Ike being loud, disrespectful, and arrogant, yelling and whatnot, talking about he not performing until he paid in full. He ain't with the half and half and whatever. So at that time, Huey wasn't there. I think Bobby was there. So of course the rank and file, they go alert Bobby to what's going on. Bobby go down there and holler at Ike like, hey man, you know what's up, man? You agreed to this. Get up there and perform. Ike, they go back and forth. Ike end up closing the door in Bobby's face. So that's strike two actually. So now strike one was you already disagreeing. You don't want to perform. You're already reneging against the agreement. Then you got the nerves to slam the door in the founder's face, basically. So that's strike two. So at this point, again, the crowd out there, they kind of getting restless. They like, what's up? So now Huey show up. And of course, Huey is immediately notified of the news. So Huey go down to the dressing room. He push up on Ike, tell him, check this out, bruh. If you ain't out there in 10 minutes, not only we busting your equipment and all that, we busting your ass. And this is allegedly. So, and Huey didn't wait for Ike to respond to nothing. He just walked right out. Told him to leave that door open and stood a rank and file member out there to make sure everything was okay. So now, of course, within the 10 minutes, Ike and Tina, they all out there. You know, they performing. You know, the show is going good. I think they do maybe 2 songs, I believe. I think it was 2 songs. And then Ike kind of, you know, wave his hand for the crowd to quiet down and say that he not performing no more, that he being held hostage and this and that, and he don't care, and that's it, that's all. And he began to start, you know, arrogantly, you know, gathering up the band equipment and start trying to, you know, push his way down the stage or whatnot. So allegedly, the next thing I hear, well, not the next thing I know because I wasn't there, but legend has it, Ike was then, I believe he was kicked, then tossed into the rest of the crowd. Because I guess when it happened, he was pushing his way through, going down. And the rest is history. He got packed out pretty bad. I actually heard that Ike and Tina was, not Ike and Tina, but Tina and the Ikettes were chased and beat under some tables or whatever by the crowd, and it was an ugly sight. Again, he got packed out pretty bad, and afterwards there was a lot of negative feedback. Well, they was trying to portray some negative feedback, but the thing is, you know, the party ended up suing Ike because, for one, you reneged on the contract, and that's another thing, kids, when it comes to contract law. Even if you don't agree, if you agree to abide by certain things, you need to do that, even if you plan on suing. But that's a different story. But again, so Ike was sued, and it was pretty much outlined that, hey man, your arrogant attitude and you disrespecting the public, you already they want a show already, so they already gonna be upset about that. That's in this day and age. Think about that. And then you push him down the stairs, you arrogant, you probably pushed a person or two, and you know how these crowds is no different than a hip hop concert, and you can't control the crowd, and Ike didn't win the crowd over, and the crowd bum rushed him, allegedly. But that's pretty much what happened that night, you guys, regarding the whole Black Panther Party and Ike Tina Turner review situation. Now, of course, there's a lot more details, and I actually recommend I put that in a link. A few books you may want to cop and give you the details about what happened that night. But again, man, the Black Panther Party, and again, I want to put another disclaimer out because this is what the party would call sensationalism. Again, like I mentioned, the party is not a gang, so the party didn't too much put the emphasis on this type of activity. It was all about the programs. So it was all about walking the walk as opposed to talking it, because you had already the propaganda machine putting a bad light on the party, as far as trying to paint them as some type of black supremacist terrorist group, basically. And then they even went as far as COINTELPRO is having agents pose it as party members to do hot stuff to throw the people off. So this was real hardball. And again, like I said, the Black Panther Party, in a lot of people's opinion, is pretty much the biggest, the strongest movement that we had thus far. They pretty much set the standard when it comes to taking it to the man, as I'll say. So even when I hear these other YouTube influencers, and I mentioned this before, when they talk about how so-called other gangsters or gangs or mob cats ain't really the mob because they ain't really taking it to who they need to take it to, that's where the Black Panther Party stands alone.